Alright. So, I'm Joseph again. We did bring a bunch of plants. I'm going to go through the plants, and I'm just kind of curious if you've heard of the plant, raise your hand. If you're not familiar with the plant, you just keep your hands down, and we'll just kind of talk about each different one. So, starting with this first bundle of batches, we have romaine lettuce. Okay. Parsley. Awesome. Keep it culinary. Terrazier. Okay, this is going to be a type of cabbage. Then we get zinnias. Perfect. Chia. Okay. Arugula. Get some hands. Lemon basil. Okay. Endive. Oh, nice. Ashwagandha. Ooh, yeah, that one always gets the hands up. People are like, wait, you have what? Yeah, we sure do. Valerian. Okay, ish. We're gonna keep going. Let's see what else we got. See what people remember or know. Okay, then we come here. We did cosmos. Okay, typical. Dill. Celotias. They're a kind of flower. You might have heard coxcomb. That's another name for them. Spinach. I would hope everyone's hand goes up. Fava bean. Garlic. We got some winter squash. Okay. Butterfly pea. Yeah. We have common beans. Okay, perfect. Then we go to Swiss chard. Okay, we got lettuce. Chia. More chia. Calendula, or some people calendula. Then we did more of the tazier, and then we ending in arugula. Okay, any questions about these specific plants?
I don't know much about tazier.
So tazier is going to be a type of not heading cabbage, but leafy cabbage. So where it's good in sautés, where it's good in soups, a lot of more of an Asian style cuisine. Really nice and fluffy. It kind of looks similar like bok choy. Oh, and we also have bok choy. That one's bok choy. That one's tazier. Okay. So yeah, and bok choy. Okay, awesome. Besides the tazier, any questions about any of the other plants?
You said endive?
Yes. Endive is in... So endive for both the flowers are in the same as the mustard family, so you'll get the same yellow flower as the mustard family, so it's edible. But think of it as more of another Chinese cabbage kind of guy. It's more of a Romani cabbage, so it's not going to be a bulby cabbage, so it's more going to be a long, kind of a spearable cabbage. Make sense? All right. So yeah, awesome. So when we talked about planting with the moon and stars, I brought a couple little things that we can talk about and share, and books that if you guys are curious. This is Botany Today. One of my favorite books, a really great book to have. It talks about many different of the classifications of plants and books and the different things that you can see. So if you're trying to ID plants, this is a great one to have. The next one we do is going to be the number one book that we've taught out of for over 10 years. This is Maria Thun's Biodynamic Calendar. So this is our version of the Farmer's Almanac. So this is going to get into when to plant what time of the year, what season, how to go about that, all those kind of different cool things. Okay, so we have this is 2025, and then we also get into the 2026 one. Growing plant medicine. Is anyone here like medicinal herbs? Awesome. So as medicinal herb growers, it's very important for us to do as much research as we can to also know what plants we're getting. We do a lot of Latin binomials, which is just the Latin terms for the plants, because sometimes there's a lot of plants that will look like another plant, and the only way that we can kind of understand them is if we can get them on the botanical aspect. So you get the Latin binomial is what we'll usually use for a lot of them. This is Rico and Sinacek. These are also signed. They're really cool. We've been talking to them for a very long time, and their work is like so super cool. But if you want, you can pass these around and kind of go through them because they have a lot of really great stuff in there. They'll tell you when to start the plants, how to start the plants, the benefit of the plants, and they're a lot more strictly to each plant individual. They talk about companion gardening. They talk about how to harvest the seeds of each plant, and a lot of good identification. So the other one, or the shorthand book, is going to be the Plant Magic. So it's pretty much the same thing, just a shortened version of it. Okay. Then we get into Farmers of 40 Centuries. I just recently got back from Taiwan. We were in Taiwan for about a week. It was so cool. Yeah. We got to study about different farms that they had out there. We met with mango growers, guava growers. We saw coconut farms. We saw banana farms. We saw a lot of brassicas farms. We saw roselle farms. We saw so many different tropical stuff. And we saw them prove a lot of things that we thought were right, and they proved it wrong. They were like, nope, you guys are trying too hard. So it was really cool to see a lot of those aspects and how they kind of worked with different plants out there in a more of a natural setting. And then here, I'm going to pass some of these around. We're going to touch on this little quick. So if you guys see the back of my shirt, it has a plant card on it. I don't know which plant card is on this shirt. Can you tell me? Okay, no problem. Because we got a bunch of them. I just kind of grabbed one really fast. So with these, this is our plant card game that we created. So anyone who likes kind of Magic the Gathering or a little bit more of that stuff, you can get into the game and get a little bit more strategic, or we use these as just great reference cards. So with these cards, you're able to understand the seasons and when to plant. So I'm going to pass some of these out. So I'm going to give you 3 cards. You're very welcome.
Did you ever table at the Arizona Center?
Yeah, possibly. What's the Arizona Center? Science Center?
Arizona Center.
No.
It's like a mall.
No, not the Arizona Science Center. Or not the science, or not the Arizona Center then.
Arizona Center.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a science center.
Was it an ASU thing?
No, it was a Cahokia.
Okay. Oh, Kotia, yes. Kotia, the Indigenous Festival? Yes, I have tabled there 2 years. I had to think about that. I was like, wait a minute. We had our library and bookstore there. Here we go. You're very welcome. Do you? Those 3. And then 3 for you. You're welcome. Oh, that's fixed. So with these, right off the bat, we talk about the name of the plant that you get. You also get if the plant is an annual or perennial, or if it can be grown as an annual or perennial. So when you see the plant, it'll say annual or perennial. If it only has one name, then it can only be grown as one. You get the plant, which is the perfect time to plant. SP is spring, SU is summer, F is fall, W is winter. And you also get the harvest time. Harvest will let you know the 3 dashes. This one, rosemary, it's harvestable in the fall, winter, and spring. And then we go down to the strength and opposition. The strength and opposition of the cards deals with the natural environment setting. So for rosemary, it can really handle a lot of water, and it can really handle messy kind of earth. But if we bring fire to it, it's going to kind of struggle with fire, and rosemary doesn't like a lot of wind and kind of gets messed up when there's a lot of wind channels. So you got to be careful with that. Then if we go to the black box, it's going to have a fact or an ability on the card. It'll tell you something about the card, or it'll be an ability for the game. Behind the text, though, you will actually see a constellation. The constellation resonates with the card, and you can find out what constellation it is by the bottom left of the card. It's going to say constellation. All of the blue cards are going to be water constellations. All of the red cards will be fire constellations. All the yellow cards are air constellations, and all of the brown cards are going to be earth constellations. So this one says PIS, which stands for Pisces. Because it's blue, it says water element. And in the bottom right of the card, it says it's an herb. Each one's going to be a little bit different, and so we have all 12 signs of constellations, and depending on what color of card you're looking for, or what constellation you're looking for, we can decide what to plant based off of these. So this tells us really quickly on how you can just kind of recognize a lot of the things that we'll be talking about when we talk about what to plant based off the moon and stars. So when we do a lot of our farming and gardening, we always plant our seeds on the new moon, because the energy is it's below the earth, is what we say, because it's hidden. So therefore we plant our seeds, and then we harvest or we plant our transplants on the full moon. So what does that look like is that if we plant our seeds in the new moon, as the time comes from the full moon, the seed is being pulled out of the ground. So the gravitation of the environment is drawn upwards. And we talk about this in the same ways with the water and tides. You guys know the earth is affected by the water. Our bodies are 78% water. I think I'm doing that correct. 70% water, and that is also affected within us. This is why our emotions can change depending on new moons and full moons. There's a lot of cycles and connections to this. Any questions so far? Okay, sweet. So because of that, we've studied, and a lot of people have studied all around the world. So this is something that is no matter to your area. So this is a great foundational way to look at it, because this is the same if you go to Taiwan, if you go to China, if you go to Africa, no matter where you go, it's going to be the same aspect, that their new moon is when they plant, our new moon is when we plant. Their full moon is when they harvest, our full moon is when we harvest. So this is one way to look at it. So all of these plants were grown specifically under the new moon, but under each one of their constellations. So if the new moon comes into Aries, then we're going to be planting fruit crops. So the fire signs are connected to all the fruit crops. That's going to be tomatoes, watermelons, fruit trees, pears, all of those. And the root crops, can we guess what signs those are connected to? Earth constellations. So if we're planting Earth constellations, we're going to look for the new moon and Earth constellation. Any Earth signs in here? Oh, what are we? Taurus. Perfect. So Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn is when we plant like ginger, radishes. If you're doing, depends, there's certain asparagus that some people would consider as a root crop. But any form of daikon, any form of root crops like that, we'd plant them. Turmeric. And then if we were doing flowers, those are going to be our air signs. Any air signs here? Crazy. That's cool. Okay. Usually we get one of everyone. So air signs would be our Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. So if we're doing any of our flowers, like sunflowers, our celosias, our cosmos, any of those things we'd be planting within a new moon under, and that's the seed, a new moon under a air sign constellation. And then we get to our water signs. Any water signs in here? I'm a water sign. Yay. This is when we do our leafy greens. So our leafy greens connect to the water signs. And the reason that is because in a leafy green setting, we get more water in the plants in the leafy greens. It's less likely to have as much oils. Usually the oils typically stem in the stems, sometimes the roots of the plants. And you learn the times that the water and oil moves up and down the plants. So during a full moon, the plants are a lot more vigorous. The water is more abundant in the leaves or in the flowers or in the seeds and fruits. During the new moon, it's not so much. The plants start to fall down and start to diminish. So with that being said, I'm going to give you guys a quick little quiz. If I wanted to plant a tomato plant, do I do this, a tomato seed, what time of constellation would I do that in?
I mean, tomatoes technically a fruit, right? So would
Yep.
it be fire?
Yes, it would. Awesome. If we wanted to plant our endive, what constellations are we looking for? Yep, water sign. Our cosmos. Yep, air sign. And then I don't think we have any root crops to here today, but technically because one of the most common uses for our ashwagandha is going to be the root part of the ashwagandha. When will we plant that? Earth constellation, correct. So these are kind of how we determine a lot of what to do, when and how. So it's a lot easier because one, I don't have to go look on social media or TikTok or Google or anything like that to find out when to plant our plants because we have a really good kind of foundational calendar. It makes a lot more sense to us, and we can kind of group most plants like that. Now for plants that are very more versatile, like when it comes to like an ashwagandha plant, because ashwagandha also produces berries, some people can use the leaves, but the most common part of it is the roots. So if I knew that I wanted to harvest the leaves of ashwagandha, when would I plant it? Yes, yep, water sign. So, and it can be any of the Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, any one of those. Preferably, if I start the seed, it'd be preferably a new moon, but if I'm doing a transplant, then I'm going to do full moons. The reason why we do transplants in the full moons is because they already have leaves, so they don't need to worry about popping out the ground. And they already have roots, but their roots need to now settle into the ground. So the waning moon, as the moon comes downwards, is what we're going to aim for. As the moon comes down, it's going to sink all the energy back into the ground. It's going to wane. That's when we plant our transplants. If we want to harvest, we're going to harvest at the full moon when things are most prominent, and then we're going to plant our seeds in the new moon. Any questions?
How does this look like when you're running a, you know, company, not company, but
Mhm.
you call it a company for normal?
Yes.
How many people do you have in your team, for example? Like,
2.
just 2?
Yes. And I grow all the plants.
Oh,
We have in-house and back-house. Alexander, he's the CEO. He does all the back work, and then I do all the plants. So I'm the one who grows about 20,000 plants a month. We have an indoor setup that we start our plants. Majority, I'd say 98% of our plants start indoors, and then we move them outdoors. And that's only in a space that's maybe, let's say if we threw 2 of these tables together, or actually this is perfect, because a rack is about 2 feet. So here's 1 rack, here's 2 racks, here's 3 racks. So from that table to here is how much space we have in our racks, and that's it. So within that space, we produce about 10 to 20,000 plants every month. And that's between, we start our plants in 72 cells. If you guys have ever seen them, I think I might have seen them here one time.
yeah.
But they're pretty much what that is. There's 72 plants in that tray. So between that, we start multiple plants in the seeds, and then we separate them, and then we put them into the different pots when we pot them. But between that, the plants that we grow, most of them are going to be like ashwagandha, chamomile, echinacea. We do burdock. We do celosias. We do valerian, mandrake, dill, fennel, oregano, rosemary, all of the culinaries. We do yarrow. We do. There's a lot. It's like over 200 plant varieties if you look on our list. So You can also find our website. Our website is going to be namayodashop.com. You see all the cool information on that. We also are very... wait till that dad goes past, just so I'm not yelling. I always feel like I'm yelling in the planes. It's great. I haven't been in Tempe in a while, and I forgot how many planes are just like constantly going by. So we're in Glendale. So we're in Glendale, and we're like down the street from the Glendale Farmers Market, which is on 75th Ave in Deer Valley. Yes, 75th Ave in Deer Valley. My mom actually lives like one street down from right here. As I'm gonna stop over there and say hi to her. I used to come over here all the time. It's crazy because like 2 years ago, this place was like hardly ever open, and it was like really hard to like get in here, and we would always try to be like, how do we get in there? Like, what do we want to, like, we would just stare out like, oh my god, there's no one here. And then someone started coming on Sundays, and then like when we finally were able to start showing up, that's when we moved. So we had a library and bookstore on, it's like 3 lights down from here. So it's like across the bridge where the little tiny shop is, and I can't even think of what the street is anymore. But yeah, we had a library and a bookstore, but we started a microfarm right behind it. The city did not like that, unfortunately, and so because the city shut it down, we were like, we're just gonna leave and go full on homesteading, pretty much. So we deal with zoning rights and a lot of things like that all the time. We try to help farmers and growers establish community gardens or farms in local areas without having to deal with zoning rights. So if you've ever been a farm and you've been shut down, I've had about 15 farms shut down in my 10 years, strictly because the city doesn't like farming. And it's really tough to deal with. So, yeah, it's quite crazy. Yeah, it's something that I tell a lot of growers and gardeners that you will face in the state of Arizona. Unfortunately, Arizona is not agricultural funding. We say we are, but really not. And I have to give out the truth and the information for what it is. We've seen so many different people all around lose their farms and gardens, even just front yard gardens, patio gardens, all kinds of stuff like that. So we want to provide as much education and give them as much legal information as possible so they don't deal with these kind of things. Even when we see like settings like this, it's like we're grateful that this is open, but a lot of times the most sustainable community gardens are gated and closed off. So if it's something that's more open and available to the public, where anyone can come by, those are most likely the ones that would get shut down the first. So that's very unfortunate, but that's just the reality of what it is. Any questions about any of that so far?
Have you worked with different community gardens a lot? Because this is actually my first job working for a community garden, so I just want to
Yeah.
hear about, like, have you seen other community gardens around Arizona?
Yes. What is that?
Listening.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so worked with tons and tons of community gardens. So we're connected. Let's see if we can go through a couple of that anything else. So Spaces of Opportunity, one of the biggest, more productional community gardens or community farmstead places. Are you familiar with them? Oh, okay. I would highly recommend anyone here, if you haven't heard of Spaces of Opportunity, they are a 3 to 5 acres. 3 to 5 acres. Oh, how's it going?
Go ahead. I got that.
Oh yeah. So they're about 3 to 5 acres, located in South Phoenix on 7th Ave and like, oh my God, it's south of Broadway. So we're gonna go south of Broadway. It's not Roosevelt, it's Roosevelt Central. But it's south of Broadway. If you go 7th Ave and you take that to like 15th Ave, you'll find it. They're like 10 to 15 acres. It's a really huge space. Like huge. So we're talking like maybe 30 of these in one giant square lot, and they rent out each different plot to farmers. And so the wait list can get kind of long from time to time. But if you go over there, you can walk the entire place. It's always open. There's no dates or anything, and that's one thing I do like 100%. You can go there any time of the day or night. And you can pretty much see all the different ways that different farmers grows. Most of them are conventional, though, I would say that. There's very little of permaculture style settings, but they've been slowly incorporated over years. So you'll see now they have like a fruit tree orchard, and typically you can go out there, you can pick fruit. We just say don't overpick, you just be respectful. And preferably the fruit trees, we say leave the farmer stuff alone, the farmer things. But a lot of the fruit tree orchards are there for the community. They have a little playground for children to be out there. They teach a lot of classes all the time too. And they also have farmers markets. I want to say it the last Saturday. The second or last Saturday is when they do the farmers markets. But they are a really big organization. They're also one of the first to start trying to do the co-ops. So the co-ops for grocery and farming together to be able to sell produce. If you get connected with them, you will find a lot of growers and a lot of available funding, a lot of resources and grant projects. You'll be able to find a lot of that. So I highly recommend if that's something that you want to do. Then we moved to Tiger Mountain Foundation. They're another big one if you've ever heard of Tiger Mountain Foundation. They're really, oh wow, that's crazy. Okay, so they're really cool. They are also in South Phoenix, but they have a couple of different niches from around. They're one of the longest, I want to say one of the longest like local community garden funding areas in South Phoenix that have been there before a lot of the other ones. Trying to remember his name. I think it's Darren. Excuse me, I'm learning better to remember names. But Tiger Mountain Foundation, they're really, really cool. Definitely someone to check out. Then you get Project Roots. Project Roots is another different community garden base that goes around to help different farmers and gardeners to support their own farm and gardens. Then we move into, let's see who else is out there. Because it's unfortunate, it's funny because most of them are all in South Phoenix because that's kind of where we've been able to grow without any problems, without anything being more challenging. You also have, there's one near Olive Park on 36th Street and Indian School. I'm trying to think of what they are called. But there is a community garden there, and if I can remember the name, it'd be really cool. But I'd highly recommend 36th Street Indian Store Community Garden. It will pop up. They're a very nice, really, it's more like this kind of setting. They are closed and gated, so you have to get there on a specific time frame. Those little gatos. Specific time frame, and you can connect with them. They're also really cool. And then you also have some of the more organizations that are out there that are not necessarily community garden based, but they're going to be more organizations for farmers and gardeners. So you have the Extensions Program, or Arizona Extensions, or the Agriculture Extensions Office. Are you guys familiar with that? No? Okay, this is something every farmer and grower in the state of Arizona should know because it's the #1 channel that will help you to be a successful gardener in the state of Arizona. So the Extensions Ad Program, this is ran by U of A, because it's not ASU, it's a U of A, and it's a scholastic setting. It's nothing but the U of A Council of Agriculture pretty much who runs this entire thing. They do like beekeeping classes, they do organic farming classes, they give out grants all the time, and they teach you guys how to write or how to be able to provide and work for the grants and how to solve them. So I highly recommend it if you want to get into more grant-based things. There definitely would be the #1 place to go. And then you also get to the botanical, the Desert Botanicals. Pretty sure that should be one that everyone knows. They're connected with all of those orgs. So if you stop at Desert Botanicals and you ask them questions about how to get connected to some of these organizations, that'd be a great place to go too. And then you can walk their garden because they have a lot of cool things as well. So those would be like a good couple pocket niches to kind of be able to like get and tapped into.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I had one more question. You said closed community gardens usually stay, operating for longer than
Yes.
open ones. Do you know why?
Because if people just walk in, someone can rip your plants up, and if people just walk in, it sometimes makes some people feel insecure, worry about their safety. So there's like pros and cons. I know we want to have our community gardens feel like the most safest place that we can, because that's kind of what it's about. It's bringing community together and feeling safe. And in certain areas, we would want the ideal setting is like I can just go next door to my community garden and harvest plants. But we're in the real world, and we never know how that can really pan out. Sometimes it can be easy, sometimes it can be good. But a lot of times, when you get a lot of people you don't know walking by, if you're not someone who's really okay with that, then it can be a little frightening, especially when we bring children involved. So in a very children setting, it's the being careful aspect, where it's like we want to be able to support community gardens, we want to be able to have open doors, we want to be able to have as much freedom as possible, but in a real world, you never know what can happen. We're on TikTok very frequently. We go live daily with a lot of classes. There's actually a really great community of farmers and gardeners on TikTok. There's a seed swap today actually where they're giving away free seeds. If you guys want to know, if you guys are on TikTok, I'd highly recommend checking it out. They send out free seeds to you and you don't have to pay for anything. Some people ask for a shipping fee, some don't. But we just had a few gardeners who recently, someone walked outside and their plants were all ripped up. And this is in their home setting. So this shows that people, you never know. So it's like provide as much safety as you can for yourself, and that's the main reason that I feel that happens. Another reason is that we do move into zoning rights and selling produce rights. So in a community garden, once you start to want to make profit, this is where it becomes an iffy situation, because as most community gardens, a community garden isn't a business. Most of them are project roots or grassroots funded, so it's all about just bringing up from nothing. But once money starts to come in, then you get taxes and you get funding rights, and you have to decide, are you a business, are you a nonprofit, what is it? So when that happens, that's when the city starts to kind of look at something and decides, like, either you guys have to show credibility of where things are going, or we have to shut you down because it's now making money. So at the same time, it's also really hard to do all of this without money or without funding, and so it's a really give and take situation. And the state of Arizona is just really strange when it comes to that. Other states are very supportive. Some states aren't supportive of it, and it's really just finding that niche. But the most successful way to do it is having information on legalization and laws and zoning. Zoning will be your number one thing that will knock you out over anything. Yeah, you're welcome. Any questions about anything here? Okay. I would love to do like a little tour, a garden tour, if you guys can just kind of walk me through what's here, and then I can kind of talk about the different things that I see. And then if we have time to plant today, we can plant the plants, or you guys are more than welcome to take the plants. Yeah, the only thing I ever ask for if you do plant them here is the cups, or if you guys do take them, I ask that you bring the cups back here so that way I can come back and pick up the cups. That's about it though. But if you like, I would love a little garden tour. Awesome.
Let's get started from the top.
Yeah, we would do that. So I'm going to go ahead.
So this is our little potted plant and seed growing station.
Nice.
And these ones we had a event for the Day of the Dead, and we invited people to plant flowers in the sake of their loved ones passed. So these are yeah, we have some echinacea here. We have some California poppies, hollyhocks. We have some calendula, lavender. So yeah, we just have a little. This is our main seed station.
That's cool. I've seen this a couple times. I walked by and there's like a bunch of trays on it. You guys started out here. It's really nice too. That's a nice bed.
And then we have some
The sunflowers.
yeah,
Those look nice.
Sunflowers. And this is our flower, I would say, like, side.
Okay.
Because when people are coming into the garden, the first thing I want them to see is a pop of color.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
actually my favorite flower. This is called Sweet Alyssum.
Sweet alyssum.
And when you put your nose to it, it really smells like honey. So yeah, you'd have to get really close. There you go.
That's nice. That's nice.
And then over here we have some zinnia.
More the cosmos.
Yeah, cosmos.
Yeah.
It's just like cosmos zinnia, cosmos zinnia, cosmos zinnia.
Have you guys grown cosmos before?
Not really. I think this is our first time.
These get about 7 feet tall.
Well, that's good.
That's awesome. So that's super cool.
And then we have some nasturtium over here.
Ooh, I like the variegated.
They just come out on their own. Like, I don't plant these. They just come back every year.
That's awesome.
And this is calendula. What happened here is we got donated some nearly dead calendula from Target. I put them in anyways, and then when they died, the seeds fell, and this has just been coming up on its own ever since.
That's cool.
Yeah, and then we have our apple sapling over here.
Oh wow, that's nice. Has this ever given fruit yet?
Not yet.
Okay.
It had a bit of a tough time when it was first put in, and then we believe that it got damaged by some herbicide.
Oh.
We had to regrow all of its leaves, but right now it's looking greener than before.
That's cool.
And then this is cascalota. It grows yellow flowers that get really dense. From the distance, the tree just turns into like a yellow, beautiful, like, scenery.
I want to hug it.
Yeah, well, probably don't.
Wait, so this one right here.
That should be a weed.
No, I don't think that one is. I can't tell. It looks like a mixture of mallow, or it could be a desert mallow, or it could be, yeah. Because I know that's gonna be the epizote weed. No. This is epizote weed, so this grows more native everywhere. You got the dandelion from what that looks like. But yeah, that one, if it's not desert mallow, it's something else. I can't think of what it's called. So that's cool.
And then on this side over here, we have some
Remember the aloe?
Bermuda grass and aloe. The reason we put aloe here is because we don't have any irrigation on this plot.
Oh, cool.
But aloe sustains itself pretty well without much water, so
Yeah,
they've been doing great here.
Yeah, I burned myself the other day fire spinning, and the first thing I put on it was aloe, and that's it. And it just felt so good.
Aloe helpful. Bed of these are larger tomatoes. What happened here is they got hailed on,
Oh,
and then it
poor guys.
cut through them. But they've been hanging on. They're slowly growing.
Do you guys do any hand pollination for your tomatoes, or you just leave it?
We usually don't, but I think that would help.
Nice. Yeah, we'll take a Q-tip, rub 2 Q-tips together, and come over and just fluff every flower. Some people, because tomatoes are perfect flowers, so they have both male and female parts. So some people also would just come over and just shade it. I like to just rub the tips on it, but typically if you do shake it, that works. The more of a fancier trick in the commercial agriculture is they'll take an electric toothbrush, and it stimulates the bee vibration, and then it just bzzz, bzzz, and they'll go over there and do that to every flower, just to produce even more tomatoes. That's cool. Yeah. Oh, the rosemary tree. That thing's beastie.
Yeah.
Jeez.
These two plots are the cities.
Oh, cool. Okay.
But I don't think they have any plants for them yet.
Just a little bit of native, more of the. This looks like a native amaranth.
We have our flower plots here because they were
Oh, that
painted,
marigold looks crazy.
and we didn't know what kind of paint they used here. So we didn't know if it was food safe or not, and
That's
we
real.
did not want to put anything edible in there. So we just made it for flowers. This is
Pollinator garden.
Yeah.
Wow, these tails look crazy. This yarrow right here. This looks like yarrow. Purple tail. Wow, those are gorgeous.
So 1, 2, 3, 4 plots of flowers.
Oh, okay, 3 flower pots. Oh, all the painted ones.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
got you. That looks like a mint. Oh, it's not potted. Oh, this had to go on the ground.
Oh, they didn't put it.
What is this, baby? Nope, blue convolvulus. Cool. That looks like sorrel. I can't tell.
These are some jasmine.
Which ones?
Those ones. No, not jasmine. What were they called? Iris.
Yeah, I was a yellow flower or purple. That would let me know.
I believe they're purple iris.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. And then we have some more aloe here because these are not irrigated either.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot the name of this plant, but
Awesome. Looks like a type of bergamot. I don't think it's actually bergamot. Does it have a square stem?
Huh?
I'm just trying to see if it has a square stem. So a cool botany term, they say in botany, is not all mints have square stems, but all mints have square stems, but not all square stems are mints.
Oh, okay.
So that's how we ID if it's a mint right off the bat. If it doesn't have a square stem, it's not a mint. But then if it has a variation of a square stem, then we can categorize it and find what kind of plant it is in botany.
And then we have a little library in here for
I love
people who
it.
want to read.
I should have brought some books if I'd known that.
Oh, that's alright. And then coming up in this corner here, these are southern live oaks.
Ooh.
All of them, and they're actually growing acorns right now.
Have you guys ever processed them?
Acorns, yeah.
Yes, that's awesome.
They're pretty fun to pick. Not fun to crack though because they're very oily.
Yeah.
And their shells don't get dry and hard like other nuts do. So when you're cracking them, it takes a bit longer.
Oh, okay.
And then, yeah, we have some calendula over here that comes up on its own.
Yes, that's so much calendula. That's awesome.
It looks really nice in here once it grows out.
So what do you guys do any seed classes, like seed harvesting classes?
Not usually.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm the only person working here, and
I feel that.
I'm not fully working here yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. I see some of the giant. Some of this light blade agaves, more yuccas. These guys are cool. These are euphorbias. That's awesome. See, I saw you had the other one, so a couple of euphorbias. That's cool. And a San Pedro, that's cool. Didn't see.
Yeah, and then we have some more native ones over there.
Mm-hmm.
These ones attracted some of these. That one especially, I believe it flowers.
Oh, that's the other plant. So this is what was over there.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I did not grow this big.
Yeah, that's gonna be the same thing that's gonna pop up over there, which I think it's a desert mallow. I want to say it's a desert mallow. That's cool. And then yeah, those things are acorning. Jesus.
And the acorns are just super easy to pick.
Oh, cool.
Just pull a tiny little bit and then they pop right on.
That's awesome. And yeah, a couple of optunias, a couple of prickly pears. Does this ever get the white stuff on it? The cochineal? Have you guys ever got the red bug?
No.
Up here? Okay. Are you familiar with the little white powdery stuff on the cacti?
Yes, I've seen them on ASU campus.
Yeah. That's the cochineal bug.
Them here, thankfully.
Awesome.
And then we have two plots here for ASU. They're actually running a experiment here.
Cool.
One of them is covered by solar panels and one of them is not.
Oh.
They're trying to measure how solar panels affect plant growth.
I liked it. Caterpillars also like it, I see.
Huh?
I said caterpillars also like it.
Yeah, the
They're like yummy.
definitely chew through them. And then these are our newly constructed beds, so we're still filling them with soil.
Awesome. Do you guys feel like 100% soil in all your beds?
Usually we try to get maybe up around here. Like,
Do you guys do any horticulture methods or like filling the beds with like sticks, wood chips, and all that stuff, and then using soil?
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, soil's expensive. I was like, dang.
It would be too. Yeah, we don't have the funds to buy it, so
Yeah.
usually what we do is we bury plant material underneath.
Perfect. Yeah. I saw that the bucket of figs. They look so good.
They've been actually they've been a bit stressed because ants have been farming on them.
That's messed up.
Have you ever seen black scale?
Yes.
On figs? So yeah, ants have been putting black scale bugs on them, and then what the black scale does is the scale bugs pull out the sugar, and then the ants get some of the sugar. So
I
they
think
are
that.
farming on the fig. But they're dropping their leaves right now, so they will grow.
Yeah, it's definitely not the best time. A little ant guy right there.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, this is a farm. We're trying to farm too.
I know. And then we have another bed of
Oh,
explosive
poor guy.
sunflower. We just have sunflower everywhere in this garden.
That's
this
awesome.
Is all sunflower as well.
Oh, cool. I see a little bit of cilantro or carrots. Is this carrots? Looks like that could be carrot.
That looks like carrot, yeah.
That's cool. A bit more of the daisies and I see this. Oh, the blue leaf mesquite is cool.
Oh yeah, we have so much mesquite, and those are so hard to remove.
Yeah.
And then this is another. I believe it's Palo Verde.
Oh, cool. A string palo?
Yeah.
Wow.
Native tree. We have our largest fig back there.
Awesome.
But that one does not get as much sunlight as the others.
I see more of the mallow, the swirl, nice yucca, more mallow.
Oh yeah, that agave has been doing its flower. So.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, these babies. Oh, those babies up there. That's awesome. Yeah. And then this is the big fig. Nice little aloe patch. Hummingbirds love this so much. Yeah. That's number one reason we grow all of our aloe varieties is just for the hummingbirds. Oh wow, it's really wet right here. Yeah. Cool. Then more calendulas. Yeah. So many calendulas. Yeah, you guys, the seed collecting would be really, really nice. All the flowers you guys have. That could be. I don't know if you guys can make money. That's the whole thing. But you could definitely sell calendula seeds.
Yeah.
Or different seeds.
This is our bed of basil.
Nice.
They're getting old, so they will need to be replanted sometime soon.
Basil trees, yeah.
Yeah, they're getting woody now, so.
Awesome. Ooh, that was lush.
These are the ones that you guys gave us, actually, lettuce.
Oh, cool. Hey, look at that.
And then we have our
Ooh.
largest fruit tree in the garden. This is our citrus. Right now, about 2/3 of it broke down in the storm recently.
Yeah, I heard it was crazy in Tempe.
Yeah, well, it hit, like, it hit us pretty bad. So this used to be a lot bigger, but...
What kind of citrus is this one?
This is key lime, and
Key lime,
this
okay,
is
that's what I thought.
lemon.
Lemon, key lime. Cool.
And then we have
Hey, the
one...
Dratos. There's another Dratos. You're just chilling. Sorry.
we have
Oh, there's
some
2 Dratos. 3 Dratos. Dratos party.
And then this is our moringa.
Those some pods.
It's edible when these pods are green.
Yep.
Yeah, you can make soups with it. You can make tea with it. I know it's used a lot in Indian cuisine.
Yeah, the entire plant is edible. The roots, the bark, the leaves, the stems, the sticks. It's called the miracle tree.
Yeah,
Number 1 tree used for diabetes in certain areas.
These are 2 blueberry plants.
Oh, nice.
And
Purple of Sicily. That's pretty. Yeah, those are ready to be harvested. Yeah, it looks like the cauliflower, purple of Sicily. Nice.
We have some peppers and
Eggplant.
yeah, eggplants in here.
Yeah, these look really, really happy. They're ready. Oh, what's this? The caterpillar dropping? That looks like caterpillar droppings.
Oh wow.
Yeah. They're like, we like it here. If they're eating it, then that means it's a good thing. There's nothing sprayed on it.
Yeah, we don't usually spray.
Pepper plant looks nice.
This is
I like your Bermuda patch.
a lot of Bermuda. This is peach.
Oh, cool.
It's venturing right now, that's why it doesn't have any leaves. But it gave her first fruit
Nice.
last year, so we'll see how it goes this
It
year.
looks like a young tree. Is it a draft?
Huh?
If it's a drafted tree? Yes, it is a drafted tree. So this right here, let's get this away from here so I can see.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so anytime you see that knot in the tree, that means that it was grafted onto a rootstock. So typically they'll grow the number one, like most citrus and fruit trees are stone fruit. So I think peach is a stone fruit, not citrus.
Yeah, it is.
So typically, let's say they'll find an apple that's not really yummy. They'll grow a bunch of the apples, and then they'll cut them all in half, and then they'll go take an arm from a peach tree that they liked, and they'll stick it onto it. That allows the fruit tree to get fruit that year. The only downfall is that 20 to 30 years from now, the peaches will actually turn back to apples, or they'll taste like apples. And sometimes some trees, if you plant the peach seed, it won't be a peach seed or a peach tree. That's the only downfall of grafting fruit trees.
We have our pomegranates here, but they had some problems with the fruiting. The pomegranates just felt like a really hard shell that wouldn't really, grow.
I would say that's typically it's going to be like a calcium problem, but also pomegranates are actually part of the citrus family, so therefore they need a certain amount of coldness. So this is why you see a lot of Arizona pomegranates it's called like the pink lady. They don't ever turn deep red unless you go northern Arizona. So out here in the valley, we get some of them like a bittersweet aspect of pomegranates because they need like a long period of 1 week to 2 weeks of like actual cold, and we typically don't get that here. So we get a lot of they'll get really big, they'll look really nice, but they're always going to be pink inside typically.
Yeah, I see. And also, this is one of the hottest parts of the garden.
Yep, that makes sense.
Talking about microclimates, because it gets like direct heat from the asphalt here.
Yeah.
So I don't think they get the cool air that they prefer. We grew some radishes here recently.
That's nice.
This is, I believe, Mineola tangel. No, it might be. Let's see. Lisbon lemon.
Lisbon, nice.
We have another citrus tree back there.
Wait, where's
These were recently donated, so they're still establishing themselves here.
That might actually be a legit lemon tree. Holy snap, that's rare. I don't see a graft on that. If that is, that's cool. You don't find those anymore.
And then this is our
Bunch of carrots.
mulberry. Yeah, those are carrots. We grew some here. And then this is our newly planted mulberry. It was doing very
Newly
poorly.
planted looks crazy.
Yeah, it was doing very poorly last year when I got here, and then it just doubled in size.
Do you know the variety?
It has not fruited yet.
Okay, it was looking like a packy. It's not a packy. There's another variety. I think it's like a TK. But typically long berries. Ever-bearing mulberries, the tiny ones.
I believe it's a long white. I believe it's going to be a long white. Just
That'd be like
at the leaf.
Packy white. That would typically be something that's commonly found out here if it's a long white one. Ever-bearings will have small leaves, small fruits. Cool.
And then this is our mini yellow
Tangelo.
Yeah.
Hello there, struggling. Just a little bit of soil softener, another palm from what it looks like, or oak.
Yeah, we have 2 more pomegranates
Palm.
here. And then this is
Pistache. Oh, tight. That's cool. Has that ever fruited?
No, not yet.
Okay. And then what's all that? Do you guys have that too?
Huh?
Is that all of your guys' area as well?
That area is also ours, but it's usually not cultivated.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Just a little storage party?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, awesome. You guys have the mallow all over the place.
I know.
This is edible. You can turn this into paper. You can eat it. It's cheeseweed. Yeah, it's also known as cheeseweed. You can use it for like a spinach dip. You can turn it into stuff like that. We used to use it and turn it into paper. Really cool. But I've also made a few different dishes out of it. They're pretty yummy. And then more of the little nopale, mini nopale.
Yeah.
That's cool. These looks good to eat.
It suffers from like drought, and then it gets limpy, and then it kind of sets.
Yeah, you get that little sunburns. The fresh ones are always nice. If you guys were to keep it short and only allow the fresh ones to grow and harvest them, they'd be perfect. Look at that. That's gorgeous.
Oh, don't touch those. They sting so bad.
Oh, that's okay.
Like they have very small needles.
Oh yeah, I'm familiar. I'm not worried about that. These are pretty. Oh, London Rocket. This is also edible. Spicy mustard.
Oh.
Yeah, that's spicy. If you like spicy, London Rocket is very spicy.
Okay.
But that's wild mustard.
Yeah. So that's the tour of our garden.
That's cool. So this is one thing I typically like to do because we saw the garden now and we get to kind of look at everything. One of my favorite questions is at the end of everything is to decide what you guys think, and we're going to talk about the little biodynamic stuff that we talked about and see if we can correlate it to this. And then we're trying to wrap up the class. If anyone wants to take plants, you're more than welcome. If anyone wants to plant plants, I'm more than welcome to help people plant plants. Or if you guys just want to take a bunch, it's also okay. I said the only thing I ask for is that at the end of whenever you guys can, just kind of bring the pots back here and let me know, and I can pick them up. But with everything that we just saw out of the plants, we looked at flowers, fruits, leaves, and all the other things. Hello.
Hi.
You playing outside? All right. You want to come sit down? Maybe. Okay. Awesome. So one thing we like to do is decide which of the 4 categories that we've seen and which one seems most apparent. And we're going to try to see if we can find out where the moon is just by talking about the things that we decided, and then we're going to check to see where we talked about. So out of all the things that we looked at, my question to you is, do you think the flowers, the fruits, the leaves, or the roots are more abundant today from the things that we saw? If you had to choose out of the 4, what seemed most kind of like stood out to you? Did the leaves seem more vigorous? Did the flowers seem more vigorous? Did you think that if you didn't see something that seemed more vigorous, then maybe it's the roots? Or do you think the fruit seemed more vigorous? Out of those 4, which one would you say? If you think, you need a little bit of time to think about it. But you can maybe take another gander if you looked at everywhere and you seem like, okay. Yeah. But if you think it would be the roots, raise your hand. Okay, no roots? No one feeling the roots? Okay, if you think that it would be the leaves, raise your hand. Okay, we got 3, 4 from the leaves. Okay, if you think that it would be the fruits, no fruits. What about the flowers? Okay. So it's between leaves and flowers. That's good. So, and now I'm going to have somebody pull out their phone and ask Doodle and say, what constellation is the moon under today? We're going to take a gander. And then we're going to find out what it came from and what it's going to. But you only get to ask that one question.
Should I say it?
Yeah.
It's Pisces.
Pisces. And what is Pisces? And what is water connected to?
Huh?
What is water connected to?
Leaves.
There we go. So, you guys take it for yourselves, and think about it that way. I always ask people, you decide what you think with that. I can't force you to say that it is it. I can't force you to say that it's not it. But I like to teach what we talked about and then get it toured through the garden, and then we're going to ask and see where we're at. So after Pisces, who knows what the next constellation is?
Cancer?
Not after Pisces. No. So not water constellations, but if we're going to talk about the whole zodiac aspect. So, I'm sorry?
Is it Aries?
Yes, it is Aries. So after Pisces, Pisces would be the last constellation, and then we start over again with Aries. So we're moving into the fruits. So in order for the flowers or the water to get from the leaves and then move into the fruits, they have to pass through the flowers. So the flowers would make sense as well, for sometimes why the flowers seem like the flowers are a little bit more vigorous than the leaves. But at the end, we don't see like the eggplant doesn't have a bunch of fruit on it, hasn't necessarily fully set. And we also necessarily, some of the tomatoes, they're not as good, but we see that some of them are turning red, and so there's like a lot more green than